Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Cristiano Ronaldo officially signs for Manchester United on a 2-year contract with an option of a 3rd year. Ronaldo will receive £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Old Trafford. Manchester United agreed a fee of €15 million with a further €8 million in add-ons. That equates to around 19.7 million in pounds sterling. Ronaldo completed his medical on Monday. Ronaldo is our 4th signing of this summer transfer window. Last Friday, it got announced that Manchester United reached an agreement with Juventus to re-sign Ronaldo. Ronaldo is Manchester United's new number 7. He's going to do well in his second spell at Man United. Ronaldo will be making his debut in the game against Newcastle after the international break. After the 1-0 win against Wolves, Solskjaer confirmed that Ronaldo will play as a centre forward. Ronaldo could play for Man United until he's almost 40. He's 36 at the moment. Last week, Cristiano Ronaldo left Juventus training. He was there for 40 minutes. And he made it clear to Juventus that he wanted to leave. In Solskjaer's press conference prior to the game against Wolves, he made a public plea for Cristiano Ronaldo to rejoin Man United. But you know what? I'm shocked he's returned after 12 years, and I think a lot of Man United fans are shocked. We took Cristiano Ronaldo from Man City's grasp because last week it mentioned that Man City were the favourites to sign Ronaldo. You know, Man City held talks with Cristiano Ronaldo's agent Jorge Mendes. Man City pulled out of the race for Ronaldo. But the reason they went in for Ronaldo is because they couldn't get Harry Kane, because Harry Kane is staying at Tottenham. Ronaldo is the greatest player of all time. He's won 32 major trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. In Ronaldo's first spell at Old Trafford, he scored 118 goals in 292 games in all competitions. And he won 3 Premier Leagues. He won the Champions League. He won the FA Cup. He won a couple of League Cups. And he won the FIFA Club World Cup. He endured 6 years in his first spell at the club. We got him back in 2003 from Sporting Lisbon. When he first came to Man United, we paid £12 million for him. Sold him to Real Madrid in 2009 for £80 million, so we gained a £68 million profit. He endured like 10 years at Real Madrid. And obviously Juventus got him in 2018 for £88 million. And he endured 3 years at Juventus. His current contract at Juventus was due to expire next year. Cristiano Ronaldo has come out and said he can't wait to play for the club again, and obviously he demands titles. Now I want to delve into some news on Edinson Cavani. So Barcelona make an inquiry over signing Edison Cavani. Barcelona are in advanced talks, but Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that Cavani will not join Barcelona. He's not leaving Manchester United in the final hours of the transfer market. Cavani signed a new contract back in May. He receives £250,000 a week at Man United. Barcelona are looking for a striker because obviously they lost Lionel Messi to PSG. Cavani's just come back. He came on in the game against Wolves, but before he was out due to personal reasons. Cavani's going to find it hard to get in the team now anyway, with Cristiano Ronaldo re-signing. Want to give you some more news on Daniel James. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Daniel James has completed his move to Leeds from Manchester United in a £25 million deal. I think Daniel James is completing the second part of his medical with Leeds. Obviously, reports came out yesterday saying that Leeds were in advanced talks with Man United to sign Daniel James. There was reports saying that Everton were looking to hijack Leeds' move, but then reports turned out not to be true. Leeds went in for Daniel James back in January 2019 and was very close to getting him, but Swansea pulled out of the deal right at the final hurdle. The reason we've offloaded Daniel James is because of Ronaldo coming back. We did get Daniel James in a deal worth 15 million from Swansea back in the summer of 2019. And he was under contract with Man United until 2024, and there was also an option of a further year. He's the first player we've sold in this summer transfer window. As you all know, today is transfer deadline day. Can Manchester United get a midfielder in? Solskjaer's priority is to get a midfielder on the board. Now, earlier on today, I gave you the news on Ruben Neves. Fabrizio Romano come out and said that Ruben Neves is the only midfield option for Manchester United. There's no current agreement with Wolves. Ruben Neves' price tag is 35 million. He receives £50,000 a week, and Ruben Neves can be deployed as a central midfielder or centre defensive midfielder. Man City have also enquired about him. Now, earlier on in this window, Bruno Lage came out and said that he wants to keep Ruben Neves, but he said every player has a price. And before that, Ruben Neves hinted that he'd made a decision on his future. He called any talks of a transfer away. He said he's very happy at Wolves, and he revealed his excitement of working alongside Bruno Lage. But I'd certainly take Ruben Neves at Manchester United. The reasons is because he'd fit in our team perfectly. He's proven in the Premier League. His performances for Wolves have been solid, and if he came to Man United, I can assure he'd replicate what he's done in his years with Wolves, and he's still got a lot of development in him. Wolves paid 15.8 million for Ruben Neves from Porto back in 2017, and he's got a contract with Wolves until 2024. Wolves have endured a bad start to this season. They've lost their first 3 league games, haven't scored 1 goal. You know, they performed well against us at the weekend. They was unlucky not to get anything. But like I said, Wolves have really struggled since they lost Diego Jota to Liverpool last year, and they also lost Man Utd to Tottenham. Man United are still in for Declan Rice from West Ham. The other day, Solskjaer did mention that he still wants to sign Declan Rice, but faces a battle for the West Ham midfielder. Declan Rice did mention that he's unhappy with West Ham's 100 million price tag. Declan Rice has rejected a few contract offers at West Ham. He's got 3 years left on his contract at West Ham. Declan Rice is predominantly a holding midfielder, but he can be deployed as a centre-half. He's been at West Ham for a good 7 years so now. You know, before he was at West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he actually never got in Chelsea's first team. Last summer, Declan Rice was linked with a move to Chelsea. We was in for Eduardo Camavinga, but obviously we're not going to be getting Eduardo Camavinga because Camavinga is going to Real Madrid. And Sol Niguez, we was also linked with him not so long ago. I heard that he's close to making a move to Chelsea, but then I heard Mundo Deportivo say that Sol Niguez is set to stay at Atletico Madrid. So it said his move to Chelsea was off. But you know what? Man United have enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. It's one of the best transfer windows we have enjoyed for a while. We have made 4 signings in this summer transfer window. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa, brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo. So we've spent around 140 million. And Solskjaer's mentioned quite a few times that he's been very pleased with our summer transfer business. You know, Solskjaer has received the backing he deserves. This summer transfer window has been Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. I've already gone through with you the players that I want Manchester United to get rid of. I want us to get rid of Jesse Lingard. I'm hearing now that Jesse Lingard is staying beyond this summer transfer window. We want 25 million for Lingard. Now, it said on Sunday from the Sunday Mirror that West Ham were planning to make a £15 million bid for Lingard, so that's a cut price deal. It also mentioned that Everton were planning to make an offer. Now, earlier on this season, Solskjaer confirmed that Lingard remains part of his plans despite the ongoing speculation. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires next year. Not so long ago he had COVID. A few weeks ago, West Ham's first team coach Stuart Pearce said that West Ham want to sign Lingard, and he mentioned that he's a special lad. And the other week it said that West Ham received a huge boost in their pursuit of Lingard because we dropped our asking price to 20 million. Now last season Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. But Lingard has been part of the club for a long time. You know, risen up our academy. He's won few trophies at Man United, won the FA Cup, the Charity Shield, the Europa League and the EFL Cup, and he scored in some of them finals. I've said to you I wanted to offload Anthony Martial, but won't be offloading him in this summer transfer window. I think there's a good chance Martial will leave in January or next summer because before the start of the season, Solskjaer refused to sell Anthony Martial. He remains part of his plans for this season. Well, reports were saying before the start of the season that Man United were ready to sell Anthony Martial, but were demanded at least £50 million. It said that Inter Milan wanted him. They wanted him as a replacement for Lukaku because Lukaku went back to Chelsea, and he did mention that would have been happy to loan Anthony Martial out as long as Inter Milan agreed to include an obligation to buy in the deal. To be fair though, Martial made an impact when he came on against Wolves at the weekend. You know, his movement was good and he kept the possession well. Martial has been at Man United for 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract. He receives £200,000 a week. Got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco. We paid 36 million up front. Martial's had 2 good seasons at Man United, and last season he was out with a knee injury for a while. I'm expecting Juan Mata to leave next summer when his contract expires. Don't forget earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. I said I wanted us to offload him in this summer transfer window. It's pointless him being there because Juan Mata doesn't really get in our 11. Plus he's lost that yard of pace and he is ageing up. But Juan Mata has had a good career at Man United. He's been with us for like 7 years now. Got him for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. Brought him in under the David Moyes era. The first part of last season, don't forget, Juan Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. I think Manchester United need to offload Donny van der Beek. Nothing to do with him being a bad player, just doesn't get enough game time at Manchester United. You know, this is Van der Beek's second full season at the club. You know, last season Van der Beek made 36 appearances for Man United in all competitions. Most of them appearances came from the bench. I recall Van der Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. And I read a report today and it said Van der Beek could leave before this transfer window closes. Earlier on in the summer he was subjected to so much transfer speculation. We got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million with add-ons included, and he's got a contract with Man United till 2025, and he's versatile, he can play in 3 different roles. And I said I wanted to offload Matic, but obviously he won't be leaving. I think there's a good chance he'll leave in January or next summer. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his chances. My concerns about Matic is that he's ageing up and he's a static midfielder. Always has been. We overpaid for Matic. We got him for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Was it before the start of last season? He signed a 3-year contract with Man United. Fred, he's another player we need to get rid of. But he won't be leaving in this summer transfer window. There's a good chance he'll leave next year, January or next summer, I'd say. He hasn't got a long-term future at the club. Fred was very poor against Wolves at the weekend, gave the ball away too many times. He was also abysmal against Southampton, gave the ball away countless times in that one. We overpaid for Fred, got him in a deal worth 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. Phil Jones, I also want us to offload him. I think he'll leave in January or next summer. It said not so long ago that Phil Jones is set to stay at Manchester United this season after Solskjaer told him he remains part of his plans. Jones made his comeback from injury in that behind closed doors game against Burnley, because Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. Jones has been a long-serving player at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. He's the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. And Lindelof, I also want us to offload him. I think there's a good chance he'll leave next year. Lindelof's going to find it hard to get in the team now anyway, obviously with Varane here. Because obviously our first choice backs are going to be Varane and Harry Maguire. And Lindelof isn't even reliable to be a backup. And Diego Dalot, I said, I want him to leave. He's obviously not going to be leaving, because not so long ago the Manchester Evening News confirmed and Sky Sports News confirmed that Diego Dalot is staying at Manchester United. He said the same thing though a few weeks ago. Not so long ago Sky Sports News did say that Borussia Dortmund were in advanced talks to sign Diego Dalot. They was interested in a loan with an option to buy next summer, and I think 2 other clubs were in for Diego Dalot. Diego Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. Last season, Diego Dalot was out on loan at AC Milan. We got Diego Dalot 3 years ago, paid 19 million for him from Porto. He's got a contract with Man United until 2023. Did well throughout pre-season. So there you go. But yeah, in this summer transfer window, Man United have loaned quite a few players out. Obviously, we loaned Brandon Williams out to Norwich. We loaned Andres Pereira out to Flamengo. We loaned Ethan Laird out to Swansea. We loaned Axel Tuanzebe out to Villa. We loaned Facundo Pellistri out to Alaves. And we loaned Tahith Chong out to Birmingham. So they're the players we've loaned out. Now obviously you know the news on Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo won't be leaving Manchester United on loan because he's got an injury and he's out for 6 weeks. But not so long ago Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Feyenoord were close to signing Amad Diallo on loan until the end of the season. We got Amad Diallo in a deal worth £37 million. We paid £19 million up front, and we got him from Atlanta, and he's got a contract with Man United until 2025. Like I said to you recently, Man United have now got a title-winning squad. So the time for excuses is over. I think we should win the league this season, especially with us re-signing Cristiano Ronaldo. But I said, didn't I, when we signed Varane and Sancho, that turns Manchester United into title contenders. So far this season, we've registered 7 points from our first 3 league games. So we've won 2 and drawn 1. And Man United are 3rd in the Premier League. Solskjaer has to win a trophy this season to basically save his job. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League, and if he won the Premier League this season, that would be a remarkable achievement. Then I would change my perceptions on the manager, definitely. But this season is massive for Ole. He's got big expectations to exceed. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. Solskjaer has managed 100 Premier League games as Man United manager. That game against Wolves at the weekend was his 100th Premier League game. He's managed over 150 games as Man United manager in all competitions. And Solskjaer has been in charge of Manchester United now for almost 3 years. And reflecting now on he's been at the football club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learnt quite a bit on the job. And he's tried a few different elements, he's like tried different formations, he's rotated the squad a lot, But Solskjaer has to improve his decision making. That's one of the biggest concerns about him, because analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, he's been tactically naive. But there has been some games where he's showed tactical flexibility, but he's got to show tactical flexibility persistently. And Ole hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. But that doesn't mean he can't succeed as Manchester United manager. Obviously, before the start of the season, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. A lot of United fans disagreed with us giving Solskjaer that new contract, because I can assure you won't see out this contract. The reason Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved his job. Disregarding being a club legend, I think he'd have been gone by now, because we've enjoyed very bad periods under Ole where he's been very close to getting sacked. But like I've said to you, when we have been inconsistent, not all of the blame has stemmed from Ole. But he's been accountable for certain things. But as you all know, there's still certain players at the club that aren't good enough to represent the club, and I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. Because like I've said to you, the Glazers, they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. So too as Ed Woodward. But surprisingly, the Glazers have backed Ole in this summer transfer window, but only because they've been persuaded to. As you all know, towards the end of last season, a lot of United fans protested against the Glazers at Carrington and Old Trafford, because there was planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. And Woodward's obviously been accountable for how poor our recruitment was for so long, plus we've overpaid for players in recent years. Woodward's leaving Man United. It got announced he was leaving when that European Super League came into the equation. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club. Man United certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I said that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. John Murtaugh is our director of football. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Solskjaer has signed 14 players now in total as Man United manager, and he's spent over 400 million in total. Also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. Got rid of quite a few players permanently and loaned quite a few players out. So yeah, So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.